A stormy afternoon around Colorado. Strong winds, rain, and hail have all been reported across the state. Crystal Anderson sent us this video from North Brighton this afternoon. You can see that hail pelting the sidewalk there as well. Similar story in Broomfield. Judy Selig sent us these photos of some of the hail that fell about 2:30 this afternoon. That's kind of really when it got going for everyone. Thanks for joining us on this Weather Impact Alert Day. I'm Kim Christensen.
I'm Alexandra Lewis. We want to get right to Weather Impact Team Chief Meteorologist Kathy Sabine. Kathy, you've been tracking these storms all afternoon and it's still going on out there.
Yeah, we remain under a weather impact alert and severe thunderstorm watch for a short time longer. The front came in earlier than forecast, triggering the large hailstorm in northern Colorado right as the evening drive and the morning drive were really getting underway. And so we did see the heavy rain and hail from that initial line of storms moving through, but a secondary line coming through around midday has also created issues on I-25 as the evening drive started with heavy rain on the roadways and some flooding under some of the underpasses. So tracking these slow-moving storms in a much cooler air mass. We've been sitting in the 90s for the last 3 days, but the front that came in earlier than forecast early this morning that brought the large hail also brought temperatures down into the 60s this afternoon. Severe thunderstorm watch remains in effect for a short time longer, but may be extended out because we're still tracking some heavy thunderstorms, especially in northeastern Colorado. Rural flooding, county roads could be washed out, 1 to 2 inches of rain, 1-inch diameter hail, and the potential for straight line wind damage. This line of storms moved across the metro area early today around midday, and now we're tracking some strong and severe storms south of the metro area, one south of Pueblo, another near the Trinidad area. These storms are going to hang around for a couple more hours, and then we should finally start to see some relief, a calmer evening ahead with a very comfortable temperature trend. Coming up, we're going to take a look at the radar in detail again and look ahead to the potential for record high temperatures for the start of summer.
People in northern Colorado say they're used to hailstorms, but last night's was much bigger than they expected. Many residents woke up to find this: broken windshields and dented cars, all courtesy of 2-inch hail that came crashing down overnight. 9 News reporter Colton Chavez joins us live from Johnstown after talking with a windshield repair company. I'm pretty sure they've been busy today, Colton.
Yeah, they certainly have. And you know who else needs to be busy because of that is these street sweepers here. We've got leaves and brush all over here from that hailstorm, and that hailstorm is what we know has kept these companies so busy. One of them being the American Pride Auto Glass Company that's right here locally in northern Colorado. Now, they've been in business for about the past 8 years. They say most years they usually deal with damage caused by about pea-sized hail. American Pride Auto Glass says that this storm produced hail big enough to shatter entire car windows. Now that's kept the business busy, very busy today. And the owner says he's expecting a week's worth of work in just the next couple days.
Yeah, they're freaking out. A lot of people are in a situation, unfortunately, where they have multiple vehicles that are damaged and they can't drive them. So they want to know how quickly we can get to them.
Now, American Pride Auto Glass tells me that they're getting their booking sheets filled up so quickly that for some people who can't wait until the end of this week or even next week, they're even just advising them to find other companies to go through so that way they can get that damage taken care of as soon as possible. As for American Pride, they tell me they expect to be doing windshield repair jobs until next week. Live in Johnstown, Colton Chavez, 9 News.
Make an appointment. Get in line, as they say. Thanks, Colton.
Yeah.
Aurora police want your help to track down a group of armed young men who tried to get into an apartment last week. This all happened at a complex near 6th Avenue and Potomac Street. Aurora police shared this video. So this shows these armed men banging on the door of an apartment. Inside that apartment were newly arrived Venezuelan immigrants. Police say they believe the suspects were trying to intimidate and extort people who live at the complex. They say the company managing this complex is working with police to stop the crime there. So far, 2 people have been arrested in connection to the crime at the complex. Aurora police are still looking for 7 others who were in that video.
Deputies in Douglas County are asking for the public's help after a woman's body was found along I-25. The sheriff's office says someone found her body early Sunday morning near Larkspur. They're still working to figure out who she is and how she died. Deputies say they did find bedding nearby. They've posted pictures of it, hoping someone will recognize it. Deputies are also looking to talk to anyone who was in the area of exit 173 on May 24th between 8 a.m. and 1 p.m. And they're hoping to get dash cam video as well. If you know anything, call Metro Denver Crime Stoppers. The FBI gets all sorts of calls for help, from bomb squad requests to dealing with what they call weapons of mass destruction.
This afternoon, we saw some of the challenges they face, like when people make homemade bombs. It's a way for the FBI to show what they encounter. 9 News reporter Jeremy Hohola got an up-close look today, joining us with what you learned.
Yeah, inside the FBI here in Denver, there is a unit that deals with weapons of mass destruction. It sounds like nukes or big bombs, but for them, it can be anything homemade but dangerous. Here's what we saw today.
Fire in the hole! Fire in the hole! Fire in the hole!
At a secret location in the mountains west of Denver, we see up close what homemade explosives can do.
You could go down to your local hardware store and buy drain cleaner and other items that could be misused in a way to manufacture explosive devices or just generally as a toxin.
Of course, we won't go into the recipes for homemade bombs for this story.
Fire in the hole!
But knowing the ingredients is the job of Special Agent John Todd Baker, who oversees the Weapons of Mass Destruction Unit in Denver. His unit responds to crime scenes all over Colorado to investigate homemade weapons of mass destruction. Most recently, his unit responded to the Molotov cocktail terrorism attack in Boulder.
What we're focused on with WMD is threats that are chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear, or explosive in nature.
This afternoon, the FBI showed us what homemade devices can do if set off. The explosions seem small but can cause lethal damage. While homemade pipe bombs have been around for years, I asked Agent Baker about what's in the future.
What worries you most in your position?
I think it's just the ingenuity and the creativity that somebody's going to come up with something we haven't thought of to do harm.
He said he worries about people using consumer-level drones to deliver explosives, almost like drones used in warfare in Ukraine.
So that's part of my job, is to try and get ahead of that so that we can anticipate how new technology can be used or misused in a way to harm, and so that we can be prepared for and try and intervene before something like that happens.
The WMD unit in the FBI has been around for nearly 20 years now. Not only do they respond to crime scenes, but they also analyze and process evidence at labs. Back to you, Alex and Kim.
All right, Jeremy, thank you.
Investigators in Arapahoe County say someone broke into a semi-truck and made off with more than $1 million worth of gaming consoles. Deputies say that truck driver discovered the theft during the inspection at a Love's truck stop June 8th in the town of Bennett. Inside his trailer were more than 2,800 Nintendo Switch 2 consoles with a total value of $1.4 million. The driver was hauling that shipment to a GameStop in Texas at the time. Investigators aren't sure where that theft happened, whether it was in Bennett or at one of the truck's earlier stops. Anyone with information is asked to call the Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office. We are talking to an expert about the theft. We're going to have much more on that on 9 News at 9 and 10.
Safeway and the workers' union are back at the bargaining table today. 7 grocery stores are on strike right now over failed contract negotiations. So workers under the UFCW Local 7 union walked out of Safeway locations in Littleton, Castle Rock, Estes Park, Fountain, Pueblo, and Denver on Sunday. The union rejected the latest offer from Safeway, saying it fails to address their demands for better staffing levels, livable wages, and worker benefits. In a statement, Safeway said that they're committed to productive discussions with the union. More stores could be joining those strikes soon. Within the last 24 hours, workers in Fort Collins, Greeley, Longmont, Loveland, and Colorado Springs all voted to authorize strikes. When that could happen is yet to be announced, though.